Hey guys, what is going on, everybody? Street Trading here with our weekly trade recap video for everybody. What a, I can say bloodbath, but definitely some selling pressure happening in this week's session. Obviously, the boys print their highs and started dipping down low and straight into the close on this week's Friday session. A lot of the bull traps, as you usually see on the backside, occurring. After the days and weeks and continuous new all-time highs. It's understandable. A lot of these guys getting caught buying the breaks, and they did. You're seeing the market do it. The boys doing it time and time again. Piercing highs and just it's just. I mean, it was just a shit show, squeezing, right? So at the end of the day, guys, characteristics. We talk about characteristic changes in the market, right? And this past week was a perfect example. Listen, slow down. We're not talking about, now we're in a bear market, now we're going to continue to fade out. Definitely not saying that. But you are seeing changes, right? Whether these changes are going to last throughout this rest of the month or throughout the summer, or it's just a week, right? Because we've had plenty of that. We've had plenty of the backside along this growth that we've been seeing for quite some time. But the pressure's on, right? So it's almost like you're mixing the perfect storm. And obviously a lot of the indecisiveness from Powell, a lot of the chatter from the Fed, it has obviously funds taking profit, and that in turn fuels more fear from retail, and obviously you see what happens in the market. So it gives obviously short sellers just fuel, right? Bears are smelling blood, and they're taking prices and they're just ripping, right? Because emotional holders, at the end of the day, there's a level where they can't take it anymore, and then that speeds up the bleeding process. So obviously there's some key levels for next week's session. Obviously that SPY definitely needs to hold, otherwise obviously the downside will definitely speed up even more. But that's for another video. But it was a great session. We had some monster breakouts to the upside, and we had some nice solid fades to the downside. Remember, when something's bleeding out, and there is key intraday fundamentals coupled with key technicals that are working as magnets pulling this price to the downside, there's very high probabilities it's going to reach. This is what we're going to talk about today, is staying in the saddle. When there are clear opportunities, when things are clearly happening in an isolated incident, like with a particular security, stay in the saddle. You can make more money by just trading one or two securities that are kicking off, whether to the upside or the downside, based on certain circumstances that are unfolding in that particular security. Remember, we're talking about intraday fundamentals, a catalyst, and obviously technicals. If you all have everything lining up, you can extract a nice bit of profit for yourself for the week's session and make just as much money, if not more, than having to bounce around. For a number of reasons. Focus is number one, right? That's number one. When you're focused, you're not distracted. You have your blinders on. Focus on the move. You stay in the saddle. You absorb and you see the bullshit retracements, bullshit pullbacks, all these things. Depending on whether the security is pushing to the upside or the downside. This is one way to stay in the saddle and extract as much as possible with the least amount of stress, right? They'll always be there. Emotions will always be there, guys. We're humans. This is what we're going to talk about today, all right? We're going to talk about that, all right? So anyway, let's get into stuff we traded, stuff we missed, stops, and all that good stuff. Let's just talk about a great week in the markets. All right, let's get into it.